Hi, I'm Beck and food's my life. Stay tuned to see how I'm going to transform these beautiful green prawns, and it's coming right up. So today I'm making my mother's Sri Lankan prawn curry. Now this recipe is to die for. If you're a fan of seafood and you love a good curry, this recipe is going to be perfect for you. So I've started off by cleaning 1.5 kilograms of green banana prawns, and I've left the tails on because they only add more flavour to your curry. So make sure you keep the tails intact. Now to this I'm going to add a combination of a few spices and flavours here. I've got 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper and half a teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to add those 3 to my prawns, and there's no other way to do this but use your hands. This is going to act as a rub that I'm going to first coat my prawns in. So we're going to do that first, and then I'm going to put these back in the fridge to sit while I'm doing the first step of the curry. Okay, so while that's resting in the fridge, let me walk you through some of the ingredients you're going to need for this recipe. So working from the back here, I have some coconut milk, some coconut cream. I've got a sliced red onion. I've got some finely chopped garlic and ginger. I've got a couple of green chilies finely chopped here. Now, of course, if you don't like too much heat, just make sure you de-seed those green chilies because you know the heat is in those seeds. I've got a few diced tomatoes here and a lovely piece of lemongrass that I've bruised so that all those beautiful oils will come out during the cooking process. I have some lemon juice. On my plate of spices here, I have 1 teaspoon of Sri Lankan dark roasted curry powder. I have some chili powder. Now again, it's up to you how much you want to use. I've got 2 teaspoons here because we like it hot. I've got some sweet paprika here. I've got a little bit of clove powder and a little bit of cardamom powder. Now I've actually ground those 2 in my mortar and pestle because I just think the flavour's more potent when you grind it yourself. Of course, if you want to cut a corner, you can always just buy the powdered version. I'm going to add to this a little cinnamon stick as well. Make sure you're using good quality cinnamon whenever you make a curry. And over here I have some greens. Now here we have a sprig of curry leaves, which you've probably all seen, you're quite familiar with. A piece of pandan here, which is a little bit harder to find unless you've got a really good farmer's market nearby that specialises in Asian foods. You can get pandan leaves from there. Or sometimes you can get it frozen from your local Indian grocery store as well. But this one, now this is something new that I've never spoken about before in my videos because I've never had to use it before. This is called Moringa leaves. I might take you outside for a second. So this is Mum's Moringa tree. Now we say Moringa in the Sri Lankan language, but in English they call it a Moringa tree. Now they sometimes call this the drumstick tree because of the long, skinny, edible seed pods that resemble drumsticks. There is so much nutritional value in the leaves and the seed pods in this tree. They are packed full of vitamin C, B vitamins, vitamin K, and so much more. So they're very, very healthy for you to eat. This tree is super fast growing. It handles drought conditions really well, and it's native to Southeast Asian countries. It likes to grow in tropical and subtropical climates. If you can't get hold of one of these trees or these leaves, you can live without it, but traditionally you should have it in a Sri Lankan prawn curry. So I've set my stovetop to a medium heat, and in my pan here I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Now once the oil has started to heat up, we're going to add our harder ingredients, so our aromats. I'm going to add my pandan, my stick of cinnamon, my lemongrass, and of course these beautiful curry leaves. So in the pot, and give it a little stir. At once you will smell this amazing aroma coming from those aromats. It's just already amazing in my kitchen. It smells great. Now to this we're going to add our onion. I'm just going to fry them off just for a little bit. until they're slightly tender. Next, I'm going to add my garlic, ginger, and green chilies. At this point, you'll already feel hungry because it smells amazing. So those onions are quite tender now, starting to get a little bit transparent. I'm going to add all those beautiful spices now to the pot. Stir that in. And at this stage, I'm going to add those beautiful prawns that we've had resting in the fridge. So they've had some time to take in the flavour of the turmeric, the pepper and the salt. And we're going to carefully combine all these ingredients together. So in a way, what we're doing is we're slightly browning these prawns. Just a little bit. We don't want to overcook them at this stage. We really want them to cook in the coconut milk. We're going to add these lovely fresh tomatoes. The tomatoes will help give this curry a lovely colour, as will all that paprika that we put in there. So now we're going to let this curry cook itself pretty much. We're going to add the coconut milk. The idea is that the milk should only just cover your prawns. We don't want too much coconut milk because we don't want too much gravy. Okay, we don't want it to be too wet in the end. So give it all a good stir. Okay, so now I know my prawns are all sitting in that lovely coconut milk. We're going to bring this to a boil and just allow it to simmer until those prawns are cooked, which won't take too long at all. Okay, my prawn curry has just reached boiling point. So at this stage, I'm going to add those moringa leaves to the pot because they need a little bit of time to be able to release their lovely unique flavour as well. And once I've put all my leaves in, off a couple of sprigs, I'm going to reduce that heat slightly and just let it simmer until those prawns are fully cooked. Now remember, if you can't get access to the moringa leaves, you can live without it, but I'm doing it today because traditionally this is a very necessary ingredient for Sri Lankan prawn and crab curries. So my prawns have been simmering away for almost 10 minutes. I know they're nice and cooked now. So I had a little taste of that curry gravy and it needed a bit of salt, so I've added 1 teaspoon of salt to my liking. What we're going to do now, because we've finished the curry essentially, we're just going to thicken it a little by adding a couple of tablespoons of coconut cream. I'm going to stir that in. And last but not least, always very important to finish your curry with a good squeeze of lemon juice. Now in Sri Lanka, traditionally they might use tamarind to give it that tart flavour, but I don't have any tamarind today, so you can use lemon or lime juice, does the same job. It's all about getting that lovely balance of spicy, salty, sour, and sweet. And there you have it, Mum's delicious Sri Lankan prawn curry. Now I'm serving this up for dinner tonight and I'm going to have it with rice and dhal. But sometimes there's nothing better than to have a bowl of prawn curry with a fresh loaf of bread to use to just soak up all that beautiful prawn curry gravy. So now it's time for a taste test. Let's go. Wow. Oh, that is such a massive flavour hit, guys. Oh, that level of salt is just right. That chili kick. Oh, you've got to do this for yourselves to see how good it really is. That's a winner. So if you want to try this for yourself, don't forget to check out the description box below where you'll find a link to my website. Once you're there, have a little bit of a browse, search for this beautiful recipe and try it for yourself. A little bit of effort, totally worth it in the end. Don't forget, if you've liked this video, please give me a big thumbs up, or better still, share it with your friends or subscribe. So that way you always know what I'm up to in the kitchen, and I'll see you next time.